Hi, I hope all of you are having a happy and peace-filled holiday season. In the November issue of Time magazine, there was a piece called Mindfulness for Men. This article talks about the many benefits of yoga for the male population, which accounts for 18% of those 20 million Americans who are now practicing yoga. At the yoga studio in Millis, where I received my training and where I teach, I have seen an increase in the number of men who come to classes. I love to see husbands and wives coming in together as well. This is great because just like women, men will benefit from doing yoga, but can also be more reluctant to join in initially. So my very special guest this morning is Daniel Harlow. Hello, Daniel.
Hi.
Great to have you here. Daniel works at the studio here, but is also a personal trainer and a distributor of a health and wellness product called Advocare. I know you have done yoga, Daniel.
I have.
Tell us about your experience. I believe that you have practiced Bikram yoga in the past, so describe to our audience your experience with this.
Sure. So one of my goals has been always to get a little bit more flexible because it relieves a lot of pain in my own body and stiffness and stress. So I've found Bikram yoga is a great way to kind of relieve a lot of the tension in my muscles, and I have a lot of lower back pain, so it helps significantly with that. And especially in the winter months, going to Bikram yoga and really like getting your body warmed up, getting everything loose, really starts my day off right.
Tell the audience a little more about Bikram because they may not know exactly what that means.
Sure. So Bikram yoga is hot yoga. It's just more commonly referred to as Bikram yoga. And basically what it does is you go into a really hot room and you are able to get your body internally warmed up. And that allows your muscles to really get stretched to the full capacity. And it makes it a lot easier for your muscles to stretch out too. It relieves a lot of the tension in your body. So you basically do, an hour to an hour and a half of yoga in a hot, heated room. And by the end of it, you have released a lot of the toxins from your body. You feel completely stretched out. If you have a kink in your neck or your back or anywhere else, usually that's alleviated by the time you're done.
And if I'm correct, you're doing the same postures. Is it a certain type of postures that you do, the same repetitive, yes?
Yeah, so I mean, basically, if you do an hour and a half class, which is usually what I do, they go through the same, there's several different postures that you do, but you usually go through each one twice, and then you move on to a next set of like 3. So you do it kind of in a circuit, if you will, and you do 3 postures, and you repeat those twice, and then you go on to another 3 and another 3 throughout the hour and a half. So it never really gets boring, and the hour and a half does fly by really fast.
And what's the temperature in that room?
I don't know exactly what it's set to, but it's got to be at least 80 or 90 degrees and to start off with, and then they gradually lower the temperature as you're going through yoga so that you don't pass out. A lot of people have that worry of, oh, I can't do hot climates because I'll pass out, but you do obviously drink water throughout, which is important, and you stay hydrated. And then you also have, just focusing on your postures, and the instructor usually about every, 10 or 15 minutes goes over and starts bringing the temperature down a little bit so that it remains at a balance for you and your body.
Very good. Well, we will definitely be doing a gentler version than Bikram yoga today. Bikram yoga isn't for everyone. It's not encouraged for those who have a seizure condition, multiple sclerosis, or certain cardiac problems. With regard to yoga for men, from my experience of talking to others and from what I have seen in classes, men, even if they are athletic, don't always get in the stretching and the meditation that could be so beneficial to them. Daniel, as a personal trainer, is this something that you would agree with?
Yes, and especially for training purposes, I know when I started doing a workout strength training regimen back when I was 17, I didn't know about stretching or the proper way to stretch. I always played sports, but stretching was always a big component to do after you were done or in the beginning with the sport, but I just stretched out like my calves and my legs just a little bit, but really stretching out everything in your body is important. And as a trainer, that's always something that I instruct people to do the proper way. Don't just spend 10 seconds going like kicking your feet around and think that's stretching. Really take a good 30 seconds for each muscle to get that to its full capacity, and then over time, stretching will be very, very easy to do, and you'll wake up and be able to get out of bed in the morning much simpler too. So stretching is key, I think, especially if you're active, going on hikes, going to the gym, whatever you're doing. You don't necessarily have to go to a gym, even after a hike, you've worked a lot more than just your legs in a hike. So doing stretch before, I would say before a little bit, and certainly afterwards too, to get all the elasticity that you can possibly get out of your muscles.
Very good. And just talk a little bit about the benefits that you see in yourself, after you've practiced yoga.
Sure. Well, I developed scoliosis when I was about 12 years old. I was put into a full body brace, covering from my chest, all the way down to my midsection to prevent the curve from getting worse during my growth spurts. But I wasn't able to move around a whole lot. So when I was 17, I got taken out of the brace, but my muscles were very weak. And so building up and getting a full balance back into my body was important, but I also had a lot of stiffness in my body because of that. I've been doing, stretching, strength training, and all of that in yoga since I was 17, and I'm now 28, so about 11 years. And I can definitely say that if I didn't do yoga or I didn't do any type of activity associated with yoga, I would be in pain every single day. And I'm talking like from a 1 to 10 range, would be at a 10. My lower back is very unbalanced just because of the scoliosis. So doing yoga really helps balance out the muscles, get them stretched out, and then oftentimes it alleviates a lot of prior injuries that you could get if you didn't stretch, like rotator injuries or knee injuries, that sort of thing. So by doing yoga, by stretching, and just kind of having that as my mentality to start off my day, it's really prevented me from experiencing a lot of injuries that I could, or aches and pains too.
Now, what about the mental or emotional piece? What do you find the benefits with yoga with regard to that?
A lot of people, they don't want to walk into a yoga studio or do yoga because they feel like they're going to hurt themselves. Their body doesn't bend that way, as I hear that a lot. Or they're just, they feel like since they don't know what they're doing and a lot of other people around them do, they feel out of place. So I would say, don't be afraid to get out of your comfort zone. I say that all the time. It's very hard for people to get beyond that. A lot of times people just kind of get in their own way, mentally especially, and with the motivation. I would say if you can get beyond that, make it a goal of yours, just to try something. And the benefit of doing this show is so that people can do this in their home living room. They can do that in the comfort of their own home. They're not being judged, and they can start with that and then build up a confidence level to doing more with yoga. But the benefits, you can read any article on yoga, any type of yoga. The benefits are there. The research is there. You feel awesome after doing it, and people really notice it changes your energy. It changes how you carry yourself. It changes the way that you feel overall, and it just, for your organs internally, it helps your immune system. I don't see a non-benefit to doing yoga in that regard.
Then you do feel it is calming?
Oh, it's very calming. Everyone has a very stressful life nowadays. It doesn't matter what you do for work or your social family life, anything like that. There are stressors out there every single day, and to be able to look forward to doing something just for yourself, first and foremost, that's very important, and something that's going to help reduce that stress and make you, more immune to, diseases out there that could affect you, that could knock you off of your game every day, or that could just cause you more stress from being out of work. There's a lot of things that you could do to get the benefits of yoga, and stress is certainly one of them. Everyone has some sort of related stress, and just being able to dedicate some time for you Or to do it with some friends, make it a group activity too. You could do that. I think makes a tremendous difference in how you feel. And when you're more confident with how you feel, people notice. And more people either want to be around you or they just want to know what you're doing because they want to feel that great too.
That is so true. And reduced stress is a definite benefit for men. After all, men in general carry a lot of responsibility. They, in many cases, are the main breadwinner. Add to that the duties of being a husband and father, and today men actually are really involved with the housework and child rearing, and engaging in perhaps some type of sport or hobby. And well, it's a lot. Of course we know, and science backs it up, that yoga is calming. And since we are talking about men, studies involving the military can give us a good insight. Research done on people in the military lately, where tensions can run high, shows the same thing across the board. Practicing yoga reduces stress. The studies also showed among active duty soldiers that yoga helped with depression and anxiety and also improved memory. For returning soldiers and others who may have symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder, yoga decreased these symptoms, and it was established that just 6 yoga sessions reduced anger and stress. Why else is it good for men? If we look at the risks for heart disease, doing yoga can really help. One study showed that it decreased blood pressure and lowered cholesterol in older men who practiced on a daily basis. Other positive outcomes include better balance, perhaps especially important for older individuals. This past year in the International Journal of Yoga, it was reported that 5 months of yoga practice gave men better posture and balance. Another study showed that men who practiced yoga had a better self-image and a better sex life than those who worked out at a gym. And for those men who experience insomnia, which as we all know just leads to more stress, yoga has been shown to improve sleep. There's lots of reasons for men to do yoga, so let's move to the mat and do some. Remember that there should be no pain in yoga, so modify the positions to suit your own body. We begin here today in bound angle position. If you're at home and you have a bolster, the bolster comes just below your ribs. Blocks are supporting the knees, soles of the feet together. If you don't have a bolster, just begin in Shavasana, laying flat on the mat. You wouldn't want to bring your legs to this position without a bolster. And remember to always honor your body, that yoga should cause no pain. So let us begin by bringing our attention to our breath. Just noticing the rise and the fall of your breath. Allow your concerns to just drift away as we attempt to remain in the present moment. Breathing is something that we do automatically without much thought. But truth be told, the way in which we breathe can either sustain us or enrich us. Watch the breath as it enters the body. Follow it as it travels up and into your lungs. See it as it exits the body. Begin to deepen your inhalation. And lengthen the exhalation. Take several deep breaths in this way. Just remove the blocks. Allow your legs to lengthen. Excuse me. And just begin now to wiggle the wiggle the fingers and toes. Just begin now to wiggle the fingers and toes. And then just point the feet. Allow a nice stretch across the top and then flex them, bringing the toes back towards the face. Point and flex. Again, pointing and flexing. And then just take the feet a little bit apart and make some circles. So begin rotating the feet. Keep the movement slow. And then rotate in the other direction. Bring the feet hip distance apart again, and take your arms and reach behind you, stretching the fingertips towards the wall behind you, the heels of the feet towards the wall in front of you, and just lengthen through the sides of the body. Don't hold your breath. Take a deep inhalation and exhale the arms down by your side. Bring the hands straight up in the air. Let your shoulders rest on the bolster. Lengthen the arms and stretch the fingers. And then just make a loose fist and open wide. Loose fist, opening wide. And again. And make some circles with the wrist. Make sure that your arms don't go back behind your shoulders. You want to keep them nice and straight, and reverse, circle in the other direction. Keep your toes active towards the ceiling. And then face your palms up to the ceiling, and then drop the fingertips down. Raise the palms up, getting a nice stretch. Feel the arms lengthening and the fingertips pointing down. Again, up and down. Take the hands and place the palms facing each other, and once again, take that up overhead. If you can and your shoulders are healthy, bring the palms together above your head. Bring your arms straight up with the fingertips pointing up, and then widening the elbows, bring that down to your chest, and then bringing it back up. And once again, behind your head, lengthening through the entire body. Separate your palms, exhale your arms down. Bring your feet to the floor one at a time, and just draw your left knee into your chest. Don't let your chin jut up, just pull that in for a minute. And then let go and take the right knee into the chest for a minute. And release. And just slide your bolster and pillow off to the side so that you come down back flat on your back. And once again, we'll lengthen, stretching through the top, always attempting to extend that spine to release the energy that runs along the spinal cord. And then exhale your arms down. Bring the feet to the floor one at a time and the knees to the chest one at a time, and just gently rock them. Leave a little distance between your knees and your feet, and then just draw the knees into the chest and point and flex the feet. Let the knees loose and cross them at the ankle. Bring your hands to the top, fingertips are pointing down towards the tops of your feet. And begin to just slowly rotate. So we're rotating right on the sacrum, on the lower back, warming that up. And then going in the other direction. And then coming back to center and dropping the feet to the floor one at a time, again lengthening. Now this time, place your palms down and just move the top of your body a couple of inches over to the left. And then reach with your arms and stretch, but stretch a little bit more through that left side. Keep your feet flexed. And then exhaling down. Bring the palms down, bring yourself back to center, and then just scoot to the right just a couple of inches. And bring your arms up, extend and reach just a little more through that right side. So giving a nice stretch through the side of the body. Exhale down, place your palms down, bring yourself back to a nice aligned center position. Walk your hands down, walk the shoulder blades down the back, press down, bring your feet close to your buttocks as possible, and then lift up into bridge pose. And just holding the posture for just a moment. And then coming down slowly, one vertebrae at a time, lengthening the body. Bring the feet to the floor one at a time. And now cross your left leg over your right. Make sure your hip is in line with your knee. Take your left hand and just open that thigh up a little more. So we're getting a little more distance in the hips there. Take your left hand to your knee, your right to your right, and just raise this up. Just hold it here for a moment. Take a deep breath here. And just let that back body relax. And then release that down, uncross your legs, bring the opposite leg over, take your right hand, open up that thigh a little, move the hand up to the knee, left to the left knee, bring that to your chest. Take a deep breath, a couple of deep breaths here. As we hold these postures, that back body begins to relax. And then bring that down, separate the feet, extend again through the top, lengthening, feeling a lengthening through the sides of the ribs. Keep the feet, the ankles, calves on the ground. Add a pelvic tilt here, bringing the pelvis towards the face slightly, but don't stop breathing. Then release that pelvic tilt, release the arms down. And then just take your belt. If you have a belt at home, you can use this, or use any belt you have. Bring your right foot to the floor and take your left foot up in the belt. And we know that for men, hamstrings can be tight, especially because of some certain sports, such as tennis, where you're in that squatting position. These can be tight. So just inhale and bring that leg into the chest. And then exhale, push it up. Lengthen the arms. Make sure the arms are long, but that the shoulders stay on the floor. Make sure that the knee, the right knee, is pointing towards the ceiling. Push that thigh towards the front room and extend the sole of the foot up. Spread the toes. Don't grip your belt, just hold it. Once again, bring it to your chest. Once again, pushing up. Take the belt both sides in your left hand. Secure your hip with your right hand. Allow that left leg to drift out to the left. Keep that knee on the right, straight at the ceiling. And go just as far as it's comfortable. Everyone has a little different extent that they can do. And then bring that up. Take the rope in your right hand, the belt in your right hand. Allow it to cross over the midline a little, just an inch or two, and you'll feel that stretch in your IT band. Release. Take both hands again to the belt and lengthen that right leg. And just stretch that left one. Push that thigh forward. Keep the toes on the other foot active. And then just bend your knee and release that down. Bring the left foot to the floor and take the right up. Extend up. Let the arms be long, let the shoulders be down. Push the thigh towards the front of the room. Inhale your knee to your chest. Exhale, push up. Really trying to get a nice stretch in the hamstrings. Again, into the chest. Push. Take your belt into your right hand. Anchor your hip with your left hand so it doesn't come off the floor, and just allow that leg to go out. Keep the left knee at the ceiling. And then drawing back to center, take the rope in your left hand, the belt, I want to call it the rope, and then crossing over the midline slightly. Extend that sole up so you feel that nice stretch. Come back, take the belt in both hands, inhale, chest, exhale, push. Lengthen the left leg. And for some of you, you may want to stay with that left leg foot on the floor. It just depends. You always honor your own body. And then bending the knee and just releasing. And just setting that belt just over to the side. Once again, let's reach and just extend that spine again. And exhaling down. And we'll just roll over and just come to a seated position. We're going to extend the legs in front of us. I'm going to tap the legs. Just keep bringing some circulation to the legs. And then we're going to bring the fingertips just right beside the hips and slightly to the rear and lift the chest. So lift that up. Let the shoulders come down, but lift the chest, open the chest. Let the buttocks be grounded. And take a deep breath here. Now, keeping that extension in the back, lift the arms as close to the ears as possible. Tuck the tummy to the spine. Move the hands forward wherever they can come on your legs and lift the chest. So don't let the chest collapse, and try to keep that back straight. And then coming back up, once again, bring your fingertips behind, lift the chest. Keep your torso nice and straight. And then bring your legs a little more than hip distance apart. And bring your hands forward, lift the chest. Make sure you keep those toes up at the ceiling to give you that hamstring stretch. Walk the hands back. Take your right knee right behind the knee. Gently lift it so that the left sole of your left foot comes into your right thigh. Extend the sternum up. Move the navel towards that right foot. Reach forward, lower your hands, lift your chest. Now, if you have any problems with your knees, you may want to support, if your knee doesn't come to the floor, you may want to support it. The other thing is if you have a knee that's bad, you can support it with a block as well. Come back up. Take your left hand down beside you, your right one up near your ear, and just lean over. Keep the buttocks grounded, so just leaning, getting a nice stretch through the side. Come back down. Take your right hand to your left knee, inhale up, and then exhale and twist. Keep that other foot, right foot, toes are towards the ceiling. Let the shoulder relax in the back. Take a deep breath. Come back to center, release that leg. Gently take the right leg behind the knee and move that sole to the inner thigh of the opposite leg. Extend your sternum, turn your navel towards that left leg, reach out and down and lift the chest. Now this is where I support my left knee, which I have a little bit of a problem with. So we're just really getting a nice hamstring stretch, trying to keep the back straight as possible. And then just coming back up. Take your right hand down beside you, your left up by your ear, extend over, reach over. Come back. Take the take the left hand, bring it to the knee, extend up, and then twist. Keep your sternum nice and straight. Tuck the tummy in. And then coming back to center and just releasing the legs and tapping them, bringing them back together. Bring your left foot all the way up so that your knee is near your chest. Inhale, wrap your arm around and let that back arm drift around. And just relax there. So we have a certain elegance to this pose. We're erect but elegant. And if you do like a little more challenge, you can bring your elbow to the inside, to the outside. And then coming back and releasing that and bringing the other foot in. So you're keeping an eye on that left foot so that it stays pointing up. Inhale, wrap the arm, extend up, and then twist. Exhale, let that back shoulder just relax. And then coming forward once again, just tapping the legs, round the shoulders. Inhale, exhale back. Inhale, exhale back. One more time, inhale up, exhale back. Inhale the shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, ha, ha. Inhale up, exhale, ha, ha. Inhale up, exhale, ha, ha. Now we'll come into a simple cross-legged position. Now if you have lower back or anything like that, you may want to sit up a little bit. You want to support both legs with your knees with your blocks wherever they fall. So if you're in a position where your legs are up here, you need to bring more height to it. So wherever it feels good for you. So we'll start here. We'll begin by just lengthening the spine. So bring those fingers back behind you again. Lengthen and inhale. Let the shoulders drop. Now just round your back. Round it so it comes forward. Now lift it, open the chest. Round again. And lift, open. Always going for that nice opening of the chest. One more time, rounding as though you were slouching and then pulling the chest back. Bring your hands over to your sides and just take your right hand, bring it to your left knee. Inhale up, lengthen, twist. Let that other arm fall behind you. And take a deep breath. Come back to center. Take the left hand to the right knee. Inhale up long and straight and tall, and then twist and let that arm relax behind. Take a deep breath. And then coming back to center, walk your hands forward and just round your back. So let your chin drop to the chest. And then walking and coming back up. Take your feet to a soles together position, so bringing those, and move them out about 15 to 20 inches in front of you. And then extend up, tuck the tummy to the spine and just fold over that. And then coming back up. And once again, just cross the legs. Whatever position you were in before, just cross them in the opposite way. Take your left hand and bring it to your arm as though you were hugging yourself, and then your right. So you're going to give yourself a hug. And then allow the left arm to come up and just wrap it so that we're into an eagle arms. And you want to extend the elbows out and up slightly. Now, for those of you with shoulder issues, you want to be very careful here. If this is too much, do not do it. We always honor the body. And then releasing. We're going to go the opposite way. So we're going to be bringing the right arm first and then the left, and just giving yourself a hug. Then release that right arm up, twist the other arm around. Point your elbows away and lift up. Giving the shoulders a little bit of a nice stretch, nice workout. And then releasing. Now we're just going to remove the blanket and come to a cat-cow position or a table position. So we're just setting all of our stuff aside here, coming down to the mat. In table, the shoulders are right over the wrist and the hips are right over the knees. Inhale, bring your head up to flat back. Exhale, round and tuck up, lengthen the arms. Push the tops of the feet into the floor. Inhale, head comes up, forward. Exhale, round and tuck up. Inhale, forward. Exhale, round and tuck. Come back to a table neutral position. Lift your left hand, right foot. Extend through the left hand and the right foot. Look a little bit in front of your mat for the best balance, I think. And then press down with the top of that foot in the back to balance. Come back down to neutral. Take the other one up. Stretch through that hand and foot. Balancing the body and brain and coming back down. And just come back into I need a little pillow, but if you can sit back on your heels, and Daniel probably can do that no problem. Others may need a bigger support. You can actually use a bolster, whatever it takes. And just extend, bring your fingertips back and extend that spine up. Again, tuck the tummy in. Bring the hands up above you, interlace them, point the knuckles at the ceiling. Reach up, now drop the shoulders. Then bring your palms up and bring that right up towards the ceiling. Exhale down. Reach to one side. Come down, reach to the other side. Coming back, come back to table, tap the tops of your feet. Just waking up the feet. There's all kinds of acupuncture points in the feet, so it gets things energized and woken up. Walk your hands forward. Make sure your index finger is pointing forward. The fingers are spread. Thumb is not hyperextended. Tuck the toes. Come up into down dog. Reach the buttocks and the pelvis back towards that back wall. Lengthen from the shoulders down through the fingertips. Bend one knee so that you get a nice stretch. Bend the other knee. Come way up now on both toes and lower the heels. Move into plank position where you're at the top of a push-up, shoulders directly over the wrists. Don't let your hips sag here. Now you can either drop one knee to come to the side, or you can roll to the sides of your feet. And just coming up, one arm stretches across from the other. Come back down, back into down dog. Move back into plank. Now do the other side. This time I'll drop my knee to show you, those of you who are watching, that you can also do it with this modified version. Coming back to plank, drop to child's pose, knees apart, toes together, head rests. Now coming back up, we'll once again move into down dog. Lift your right leg up. Now bring that knee right into your chest and right through to the middle of your hands if you can. If not, just do whatever adjustment you can to make it happen. Now we're in a lunge position here. Now ground down with your front foot. Create some resistance with that rear foot to bring your hips nice and stable, and just come up to on your thighs with your forearms. Now draw your arms up above and rest on your front thigh in jet airplane. Come down, bring your hands to the floor. Come back to child's pose for a moment, rest. And then moving forward. Once up, again into down dog. Tuck, come up. Raise the leg behind you, left leg. Bring the knee to the chest and then right through into Anjanasana. Or runner's lunge. Make sure that your knee is right over your ankle and that front leg and does not hyperextend or go over that. Bring your arms up to your thighs, balancing. And then the arms up behind you, letting the chest go down towards the thigh. Come back down, hands down to plank, down to child's pose, rest. And then we will just move to a standing position and bringing our blocks in front of us. So what we're going to do is rest the forehead. Now some people can go all the way to the ground, rest their head on the forehead, and for others you'll have to make a little bit of an adjustment. However, we're going to step wide, feet are even and parallel. Make the torso straight, tuck the tummy in. And then bend forward, placing your hands on the floor in the top of your forehead on your blocks. Weight is moving towards the front of the feet. And then just coming up toe heel together. And just tap the legs out. Inhale, lift the toes and spread them. Exhale down. Inhale, lift and spread the toes. Exhale down. Lift, arms halfway, come up on the toes, get a gaze point. Just balancing a little bit and strengthening the legs. And then coming down. Step wide, feet are even and parallel. Turn your left foot out all the way. Your right one in slightly, but face your hips towards the front. Inhale, lengthen through the arms. Feel the muscles pull right up to the bones. Keep the legs nice and straight. Arms are not above the shoulders. Inhale, reach forward with that left hand, bring it down and bring the other arm up above it in Trikonasana or triangle pose. If you're healthy in the neck area, look up towards your thumb. This is opening up the chest, throat, shoulders, you know, a lot of these areas that are tight for men. Come up. Inhale. Exhale, bend that forward knee. Make sure that forward knee is at 90-degree angle. It is right over the ankle. Gaze out over your hand. In Warrior Two, keep that back leg lifted. Bring that forearm down to your thigh and extend your opposite arm over your ear. An extended side angle. We're strengthening the legs, opening those hips, opening the groin. All areas that are tight for men. Inhale, come to standing. Hands to hip. Bring the feet back to neutral. Turn the right foot out all the way, the left one in slightly. Face towards the front of the room. Inhale, extend your arms. Reach forward with that right arm, cut back with that hip, and just bring that arm down, the other one above it. Stretch. Don't let the arch of that back foot collapse. Come up. Inhale. Exhale, bend the forward knee. Gaze out over strongly in Warrior. Bring the forearm down, extend over. Come back up. Hands to hips, come to center. Tap those legs out. Inhale. Exhale. Now we'll just move to the front of our mat. We're going to start in Tadasana. Feet are even, parallel. Reaching the fingertips down as the crown of the head lifts to the ceiling. Taking a breath here. Bring the arms up next to the ears as close as possible. If you have shoulder issues, you can stay right here. That's fine too. Bend at the knees and just sit back as though you're sitting in a chair in Uttanasana, chair pose. Now just for a few moments, try to breathe comfortably here. Bring your arms behind you. Lift, interlace and lift the chest. This teaches us to bend well. It strengthens the arms, the legs, stretches the arms, strengthens the legs. Great preparation for skiing. Coming back to center. Now we'll just, again, put our blanket down. We'll come back on our back for some stretching and twists. And just leaving your bolster handy so that you'll be able to bring that under Shavasana. So for right now, we're just going to lay back on our blankets. Let's stretch, top to bottom. Exhale down. Bring your feet to the floor, hip distance apart. Take your arms to a T, slight T. Allow the legs to drift over to the right as the head moves slowly to the left. Now keep your shoulders on the ground. Inhale to center. Press down with your feet in the small of your back and let the legs drift the other way. Inhale to center. Take the feet the distance of the mat apart, a little further apart. Inhale, press it, the small of the back and the feet into the floor. Let the legs go to the right, head moves to the left. And in these twist positions, we literally twist and wring the internal organs of all toxins. Inhale to center. Push down on the feet and the small of the back and let the legs go to the opposite direction. Head moves slightly away. And in these twisting positions, we also release old stale emotions and such. Probably a good thing for guys. Just saying. And then coming back up to center and lengthening and extending. Reach through the top. Exhale down. Bring the feet to the floor one at a time. Bring the knees to the chest one at a time and just gently rock them. Widen the legs. Bring the arms through the middle. Grasp the sides of the feet in Happy Baby and just rock gently. to lower the legs. And now just bring your bolster underneath your thighs and your pillow underneath your head as we prepare for Shavasana. So once again, we bring our attention to our breath. Noticing the ebb and flow of our breath. Allowing the body to relax. Yoga brings with it an awareness, as with our breath that we take for granted and don't pay much attention to. The same is true of our bodies. Until they begin to break down or become ill, we don't pay them much attention. Let your concerns drift away. And as you rest there, I'll just read you a little something. Look to this day, for it is life, the very life of life. In its brief course lie all the verities and realities of your existence. The bliss of growth, the glory of action, the splendor of achievement are but experiences of time. For yesterday is but a dream, and tomorrow is only a vision. And today, well lived, makes yesterday a dream of happiness, and every tomorrow a vision of hope. Look well, therefore, to this day. Such is the salutation to the ever-new dawn. And now just bring yourself gently from your lying position to a simple seated, cross-legged position. Bring the hands together at heart center and bow the thinking, intelligent mind to the more intuitive wisdom of the heart. May the long-time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way home. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, everyone.